Greetings and salutations. I'm Chris Poole, and I'd like to share with you some information for when you hold the grammarian role at your next Toastmasters meeting. The grammarian is a very important aspect of any club meeting. This is the leadership role that listens to everyone throughout the entire meeting. The grammarian is listening for positive uses of language, improper uses of language, improper transitions, sentence fragmentation, transitions that are ineffective, verb tense that do not agree with the nouns. At Cream City, we actually have a template form that we use for our grammarian. In another video, I discussed the role of the odd counter, which is on the left-hand side of our form. But in most times at our club meeting, we combine the role of the odd counter with the grammarian, and the grammarian focuses on the right-hand side of our form. I'm just going to fold this over briefly. As the grammarian, we focus in on the incorrect agreements, is versus were, or I'm sorry, was versus were, is versus are, and other uses of poor grammar. We also listen for the incorrect pronunciation, run-on sentences. But what I really enjoy when I hold the role of grammarian is listening to the positive uses of language. Is there alliteration? Is there assonance? Is there metaphors? Are there triads? Is there imagery? Is the speaker wordsmithing so that you are creating vivid images in your mind as the listener? Our spots here are a little bit small, so you have to write small sometimes. We actually keep our forms in a binder, and oftentimes we'll have the sheet, our current sheet, and then you have the blank sheet up above. We will continue writing information on the top because we want to capture everything that's going on during the meeting. When you hold the role of grammarian, you will be asked at the beginning of the meeting to discuss your role. Give a brief overview of what you'll be doing, which again, listening for those proper uses of the language and the positive uses of language and what can be improved on. The grammarian will also give the word of the day. Now, depending on the club culture for you, either the grammarian will prepare a word of the day, or I know specifically at Cream City Communicators, our VP of Education plans in advance what our word of the day is. When the grammarian is introduced by the Toastmaster, gives it a quick overview of the role, and then will introduce our word of the day, giving a correct pronunciation, giving the definition, and then an example of how to utilize this word. We then encourage all of our speakers, whether a prepared speaker or anyone else giving a report or a table topics response, to try to incorporate that word of the day somehow into their responses. The grammarian will listen for this and check mark the person or persons who utilize the word of the day throughout your meeting. At the end of a meeting, the grammarian is called upon to give his or her leadership report and will give a report out on the information that they have checkmarked. We keep all of our forms probably for a good year or so together, so you can always flip back and see what other people have written down when they hold the role of grammarian. But don't be intimidated. Some members are at different skill levels. Some people only put down a bare minimum of information, while others go into great detail. But again, what is your skill level when you hold this grammarian report? Don't ever feel that you have to compare yourself to someone else and how you are performing this role. You hold this role to the best of your ability and meet your project objectives as you see fit. When you hold this role, make sure that you complete your CL manual. Give your CL manual to another member to evaluate you as you hold this leadership role. As grammarian, you can receive credit as a leader for your listening skills, critical thinking, effective feedback, or time management. You always want to get credit for performing that leadership role. If you look in the back of your CC, the Competent Communicator Manual, on page 74, there's actually a detailed list of the explanation of holding the grammarian role. That's one additional resource for you to utilize. Also, if you're a member of Cream City Communicators, I encourage you to look at your new member handbook. It goes into more detail on holding that role specific for our club, where you can get your supplies, what to expect during the meeting, what to do with the report form after a meeting. If you are still unsure of what to do in holding this role, I encourage you to reach out to your mentor, reach out to your club officers, or reach out to your fellow members. Most of them have already held the role of grammarian once or twice, 10 or 11 times, and they will all be ready to help you and support you as you try this role. I look forward to hearing your grammarian report at an upcoming meeting. Thank you.